Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Chronicle, where life is meaningless and nothing is real. I'm just kidding. I wanted to start off this episode like that because let's get straight into the goals for this week. And what I'm gonna do is instead of talking about the goal, well, I will do that, but I wanted to let me read the journal entry for Monday for the first day of this week's journal before I talk about the goal. Okay. Oh wow, I forgot how unnecessarily dramatic I wrote this. So brace yourself. Uh, it's a sad end to this ordinary Monday, which really isn't how I like to end any of my days, but that's life. Sometimes days end in sadness, but on a brighter note, there's no better melatonin than depression. I knew this whole endeavor was crazy before I even started it, but I wanted to try. Every form I filled, every application I submitted, every appointment I made, every day I waited for an email gave me hope that this thing might actually be possible. And it technically still was, but not this time, not today, not this month, probably not even this year. Today, I officially withdrew from the University of Kansas. Um, that's where we're at with the goal. Why did I withdraw? Well, I don't know, man. The whole thing upsets me so much that my brain just tries to wipe all information of it from my memory. And thinking about it is hard because it doesn't want me to think about it because it makes me sad, which is cool, I guess. Um, but yeah, I guess the long story short is it just wasn't the right time, or maybe I didn't really know what I was in for. Because, like I said, like I've been saying, it was supposed to only be a 2 year thing. I only wanted to go to college for 2 more years before getting, a career or a profession. And then they told me that it would be 3 to 4 years. But I might have to start next fall, so it could be 4 to 5 years. And also, I didn't have any money from financial aid, so that's kind of a big deal. I do actually have enough savings to pay for a whole year of tuition, so I could have enrolled, right? But like, I wasn't entirely sure what major I wanted, what field I wanted in my major. It's just the more the it's like what happened was I was narrowing down my options and then I got enrolled and I talked to advisors and then they started spreading out again and I wasn't really sure what to do. Um, so yeah, the college goal is done. Not completed, not fulfilled, but done. Man, I keep looking at my face and it looks all weird in the lighting. I'm sure it looks fine to normal people. You know what's funny? Um, so like other people, as far as I'm aware, other people think my face looks fine, good, or even symmetrical. I don't, because I look at it every day. What's funny is that my friend, we were sitting next to each other on lunch, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, my face looks so asymmetrical in the camera." I'm like, "No, no, it does not. You look fine, bruh." She's like, "Really? Do I look like this?" I'm like, "You look fine. I don't see any asymmetries." And she was like, "Me, me, 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 me." I'm like, "Bro, you look fine. Just that's the fact of the matter." And then I explained that to her, and she just kind of goes, "Yeah." It's like, bro, at that point, it's all in your head. Like, just relax. Yeah, anyway. Moral of the story, don't look too closely at your own face because it probably looks fine. Everyone else thinks it looks fine. I know that for a fact. Alright. Yeah, so the goal cooked, apparently. I did make some more. I'm kind of spending this week in mourning of the last goal. Um, but my current goals, the one at the very top right there, it just says career with a question mark because that is my highest priority. And then I've got the music goal left over. Wait. Yeah, actually, I think that is the music goal, and then the career goal is just off camera. So I've got the music goal left over. I still want to try making a song in GarageBand on my phone or something. These two, what are those two? I think, yeah, I need to catch up on my instruments, on learning the stuff that I should know already. That's been way overdue. I did do that today, actually, a little bit of that. So those are in progress. Um, and then here I've got these are repeatable goals, goals that I can do every week because that's just how they work. They are practicing guitar and piano, trying to recover my smell, and then working on my New Year's resolutions, which were to read the Action Bible and clear my Steam library of unplayed video games, which is pretty much an impossible task. The Action Bible thing, that's easy. The Steam library, don't bet on it. I mean, hopefully I can work on it, you know. But it's like forcing yourself to do something fun kind of takes the fun out of it, and like, you know what I'm saying there. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Oh yeah, my ring light. I'm trying to get it more even on my face because I feel like this side's really dark. I could shift it over. Maybe that helps a little bit. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I'll make more intensive goals next week. I simply don't know. I am back to square one, back to where I was before I was doing the college goal. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know where to go, who to talk to, whatever. So yeah, I guess we should get into the journal. I am doing this later than I should. Oh no, side notes for Monday. Other things that happened on Monday. Um, it's a sad day in the deodorant saga as I tested out two more deodorants and neither of them worked. In fact, it did the opposite. They were not good for my body. And then my dad apologized, like for like stuff that he said. Like, remember when I talked about that a week or two ago? I thought that was a little weird because last we entered the conversation, he said we can talk about it, we can not talk about it. I was just gonna take the L pretty much and just leave my feelings hurt, because like I wasn't really sure what else to do. But then during lunch on that same Monday, or yeah, during lunch, he was like, "Hey, do you want to go to lunch?" I was like, "Sure." We talked about college and how I wasn't going, and then he was like, "Sorry for the stuff that I said," and I was like, "Wow, thanks." I think I just stood there, or I just sat there because we were sitting, and like nodded. And I did really appreciate the apology, actually. I didn't say that out loud because that was, hard for me to articulate in that moment. But I did appreciate the apology, but I wonder, because I told him about the channel, so I wonder, did he apologize because he saw the report where I talked about how it hurt my feelings, or was he just still thinking about it? I don't know. Those are side notes for Monday. Yeah, I was gonna leave this in the journal, but I don't like how it's taking the lead with it, so I'm gonna throw it away. The pencil lead. Okay, Tuesday. After getting off of work early, I went straight to my friend's house. Friend's house. Yeah. To watch Sonic Prime and Wish with them. It was a lot of fun, and honestly, I'm having fun still. Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know, like, I'm pretty sure, like, literally, like, hardly anyone watches these, I know. Because I just looked at the last two reports, they had one view. And I'm like, who is that, I wonder? I'm sure they could tell me if they could tell me. Yeah, but I'm like, can I talk about doing things that people over 21 years old do? Or am I gonna get arrested? I probably won't get arrested, but I don't know. It's just my brain is like, no, don't say it on camera. I don't know. Like I said, I know that like the last two literally got two views, or no, one view actually, which is even worse or better. It depends on how you think about it. Hold on, wait. Let me get a funny face for the camera for the thumbnail. Hold on, both eyebrows, please. Perfect. Yeah. So I went to my friend's house and we watched Sonic Prime and Wish and did things that people 21 years and older do. And I think that was about all I did that day. Supposed to try to be a little more productive today, but the whole thing kind of threw a wrench into that plan. I should have eaten way sooner than I did, but being around my friend makes me nauseous for some reason, so I can't really do that. I really wish I knew why that happened and how to stop it. I'll talk to her about it before we see each other next. And the quote was from why. Yeah, so for over a year now, I've been getting just really nauseous whenever I'm around one of my friends, and it's not a good thing. It's not like, ooh, butterflies, haha. Like, I do not like them like that, and I wish it would stop, and I don't know how to stop it or really why it's happening, but it's just whenever I'm around them, I get nauseous, and I don't eat when I'm around them because I'm nauseous, and then like, oh my gosh, I wish you would eat. I'm like, I literally cannot. Yeah, so like, don't know why that's happening. I've noticed it gets worse when I look directly at her. And I was like, maybe just enough exposure therapy, just being around her will like make it go away, or if I just look directly at her, but then I look at her and I'm like, nope, I can't do this anymore. Now, of course, I do this discreetly, like I'm not just staring at her the whole time. but yeah, and just thinking about talking to her about it did somehow make me feel better about it. And I will talk to her about it if it persists, or maybe I'll just, because like, why would I talk to her about it if it doesn't happen anymore, right? Like if I go hang out with her next week and then it doesn't happen, why would I say anything, right? It wouldn't help me or her. But I mean, I don't want to admit it, but I feel like it'll probably happen again, and then I'll probably, talk to her about it, and then we'll see where that goes if we can solve that. And that's what happened on Tuesday. I'm gonna try and keep this 20 minutes or less because, like I said, I'm doing this later than I wanted to, but you know how it goes, and I've got work in the morning, and I don't want to do it tomorrow because I want to do it today. So I'm staying up later to do it today, but also I'm gonna get half an hour sleep extra because I've made a sandwich. Wednesday. Not much today. After work, I low-key did nothing of note. I ate, showered, typical day stuff. I took a sort of career and personality assessment, and I'll look further into the results tomorrow. I didn't really end up doing that. You know what? Let me pull up that tab on Chrome right now. Let me, just so I can. Whoops! Not what I. Why did it autofill? Don't do that. Chat? What is happening? Okay, I'll look into that later. Wednesday, I did the little career and personality test. Like for them tomorrow. Mom came by for a surprise visit, so we just caught up and stuff. I also met my roommate and sister's current boyfriend, so that's cool. He seems cool. I'm also having a bit of a hard time accepting that college isn't possible right now, but it's okay. And then the quote is, sometimes I wonder how I do it. Or sometimes I wonder how I do it, depending on which I you want to put emphasis on. Because, sometimes people don't say this to me often, and usually it's at work, and I usually in like a joking context where they're like, how do you do it? Because, my two coworkers are freaking doing whatever, being stupid in the corner, or just being loud and noisy. And then, one other coworker will walk by and be like, man, I don't know how you do it every day. And I'm like, if I didn't do it, who would? Or, that's just what I do. Or like, someone's got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Cool, funny responses that I've never used in real life before. Yeah, that's about all that happened on Wednesday. Thursday. Today, after getting off of work, I showered and then immediately had to go to St. Louis to pick up my friend. Other than that, it was just, wow. Yeah, I was really tired when I wrote this. It was written at 2:12 a.m. in the morning. So it's very scribblish. I went to St. Louis to pick up my friend. Other than that, I just really need to space out. Yeah, that's what that says. I just need some nice quality, quiet, and alone time, and I'll get plenty tomorrow because I took it off work. Thank God. I'm so tired that it feels like I'm high. Low-key surprised I even made it home. I'm so spacey, and I'm craving, ... What does that mean? I don't know. Yeah, I was pretty much delirious when I wrote that because it was so late in the day. Or the night? The morning? Like I said, 2:12 a.m. And yeah, being tired really does feel like being high. Like as a kid, me and my friends would say that, not knowing how true it was. It's 100% true. Friday, written in quotes because this is at 1:34 a.m. Today was so weird for some reason. Oh gosh, I don't even know if I want to explain Friday. I felt really weird this weekend, man. Like, and I don't even 100% know why. I think it's just like emotions that I'm just like suppressing, is my guess. It's a guess. I feel like it's mostly correct. But I don't want to say that because I don't want to admit to that. But I'm pretty sure that is what I was and am doing. Because you know me, that's what I do. Yeah, so Friday I just felt kinda icky. Felt kinda icky. Emotionally. Yeah, that's pretty much how I spent Friday. What did I even do? I don't know if I did like anything on Friday. I might have just stayed home all day. Yeah. Saturday. I did technically miss the entry for Saturday, and I wrote it today. But yeah, I wanted to write one for yesterday. So I did. Yeah, today I was still struggling with the loss of college and greater purpose, but I am coping with it by replacing all the sticky notes on my wall. I felt super awful at the gym today again, just like what happened 2 weeks ago. But I sat down and controlled my breathing, and it didn't get as bad as it did last time. After that, I went to my friend's house for a big non-specific hangout. It was pretty fun, and I got to practice piano on the old, dirty, shitty acoustic piano. It was awesome. Also, and then I'm gonna omit that last part because I feel like it. And then we've got today. Yeah. Also, speaking of which, I went to a mutual friend's house for a big non-specific hangout, and I was like, hey, because she has a really, really old and dirty, out of tune piano in her garage that like barely works, right? But it's an acoustic piano, right? And let me tell you, it's just you have to be a pianist to understand. Okay, you have to be able to play piano to understand this. I've said this before, but like I would rather practice on that old, dirty, rickety, nasty, dusty piano that is so out of tune and barely works. I want to say it was B flat 4 or 5, just didn't make sound. It would just make a tink. That was like it would make not sound when you hit it. And like other keys were really bad as well. But like playing on that acoustic piano felt so much better than playing on an electric piano. Because like I said, playing on an acoustic piano feels like you're actually playing an instrument and making the sound. Playing on an electric piano feels like typing on a keyboard. It's just not the same at all. And also, it was really humid and hot in the garage, and I imagined myself in like an old Western saloon. Like, I'm hot, I'm sweaty, I'm playing the keys. I've got like a whiskey on the piano because it's the Wild West. I got that picture in my head when I was doing that. I was like, oh, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, playing on that piano was, oh my gosh, and like the keys popped up so fast, which is good because I tend to enjoy playing faster. So yeah, it just felt really nice. And then that leads us to today. Pretty similar to Friday. Was it? I think I got like a late start. Oh yeah, should I explain the gym thing that happened yesterday? Nah. Um, so today, I mostly just spent today catching up on piano, catching up on my instrument there, and then I thoroughly dusted my desk area. So I got my little shelves as well. Yeah, you see this shelf right here, and then yeah, this shelf right here. So I dusted all those, dusted the desk, dusted the PC. My ring light kept falling over, but I figured out for some reason you can twist the panhandle. You can twist the panhandle itself because that adjusts. Because there's so many ways it can bend forward. It can bend like so. Yeah, so it's like this, right? So it can bend like this, and then it can bend like that, and I think it can. Yeah, it's got so many moving pieces. I tried to. It was hard to figure out which one I needed to tighten to actually get the ring light to stop falling over. So yeah, and then yeah, I redid my little whiteboard. I redid it to have little boxes that I could check daily for stuff that I need to do daily. Because before it just had kind of like nonsense written on it. I also cleaned it thoroughly, just with some rubbing alcohol. It got really messy for a second, and then now it's like getting dirtier now that I am using it. So I'm like, but I'm using it, which is the point of it. Yeah, I'm not using my day planner as much as I should, but there's nothing on here, man. It's blank. I've got like 5 things. I actually did. Oh, I did all these. Oh, I will. Yeah. I don't think I had dinner. I kind of had girl dinner for lunch, and then I just had like some veggies and trail mix after hanging out with friends today. Yeah, I want to use it, but it's so. I think I've said this like once before. The day planner is in my head, really. I don't need a physical one, but it's cool and fun to use, and it was a gift, so I would like to use it as much as I can. Yeah, today. I was organizing, I was dusting, I was practicing my instruments, prepped lunch for tomorrow, and then I played Splatoon with my friends, and that's my day. Yeah, I really do want to talk more, but not as much as I want to go to bed and keep this episode short. So I think that is all for this week. Like I said, was it what? Hold on, because whenever I clicked record, I didn't say the exact thing. I wanted to say, "Hello and welcome to the Chronicle," where so life is meaningless, and then something else involving the word nothing. I think I said nothing is real and life is meaningless, but that wasn't the exact quote I had prepared in my head, but now I can't remember. Where was it? Life is meaningless. Oh, that's what it was. It was, hello everyone and welcome back to the Chronicle, where nothing matters and life is meaningless. Which is a joke, of course. But that's how I felt this week, pretty much. Sorry, gang. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I will see you all next week. Bye.